哇，这好超现实！我们常常在生活中听到这句话。那这一次的展览，你也可以看到，因为不同于现实世界的感官经验而产生的奇异感。1924年，布勒东发表了超现实主义宣言，至今已经超过100年。超现实主义受到弗洛伊德精神分析、梦的解析的影响，在视觉艺术、表演、文学、戏剧多元的方向持续影响了100年。100年的超现实主义回顾，在欧洲、美国、亚洲陆续举办了相关的展览。本次超现实主义对话中的世界是北美馆与德国图宾根文化交流协会合作，共同规划了4大主题，集结了绘画、摄影、物件、电影100多件的作品。
Surrealism was essentially born in 1924 with the publication of the Manifeste du Surrealisme by the French Parisian poet André Breton. And it was a reaction to the horrors of World War I. The Surrealists really thought that a irrational society was what led to this destructive World War. They wanted to find the treasure trove of deep hidden desires and true human emotion that they thought would be within the world of dreams. They latched onto the findings of Sigmund Freud for psychoanalysis and dream interpretation. Breton was of the conviction that the dream was of equal importance than our waking reality, and he proposed that they should merge in a way and form a surreality. Artists wanted to achieve was to create in a new way by blocking out logic and rationale and unleash the creative automatic spirit, so to say. Very important artists of the movement include Tanguy, Max Ernst, Magritte, but also Dorothea Tanning, Leonora Fini, Salvador Dali. A lot of the very famous French artists of the Parisian time are part of the movement. Exhibition, it's a dialogical curatorial concept. We wanted to create a contrast between the contemporary artists and the old masters to show the visitors how important the work and the lessons and the subject of the old masters really were still for contemporary practice, but also to show how incredibly vibrant and individualistic contemporary art practice has become. It's a very unique aspect about the Surrealists that both the contemporary artists are so strong in their own development and the homage to their forebearers is so strong. The exhibition is divided into 4 sections. We have the collective dream, which is a bit the starting section where we introduce the exhibition, where a lot of the very pivotal old masters are presented, where the first ideas are introduced. We have works by Max Ernst. We have The Hunter, which is one work from the year that he finished his famous frottage and grattage techniques. And it's part of his horde paintings, which evokes sort of uncanny creatures in the forest. Also, we have got 2 Tanguys, which is very extraordinary, which are very prototypical dreamscape examples. What we have come today to recognize as a pictorial world depicting our dream. Sort of this lucid state where the horizon and the ground become intermixed, and you have amorphous objects that you can't really place, that are a bit biological but then at the same time also inorganic, sort of floating in between. This section opens the visitors to a couple of the very, very important first generation artists, and also opens up a bit of the visual imagery that we've come to know a lot from the Surrealist works. The Boundless Metamorphosis, which shows one aspect. Surrealists really like to dissolve boundaries. to create a new object by doing so, believing that a human, if for example merged with a creature, being morphed becomes a plurality of things, and thereby it can adopt a new meaning, and the uncanny effect of combining two familiar things into an unfamiliar third can evoke something very subconscious in the viewer. So that is a technique that the surrealists really liked, and is basically the focus point of that section. Orlan, her most famous work was when she underwent an operation where she picked beauty ideals that she took from art history, and she basically made herself to look like these paintings. In a dialogue, we have a lot of works that deal with this complex. For example, our works by Claude Cahun, who talks about identity and masks. And we have also works by Cindy Sherman. She undergoes or plays different stereotypes that women are subject to based on movies. The object is of great importance in surrealism. Already in Freudian psychoanalysis, it is believed that an object within a dream is imbued with meaning. The surrealists really engaged with a lot of symbolic play with the object. In the desired object, also we talk about one example is female became an object that was representative of male desire and was quite often also used in their works. We have works by Penny Slinger. We've put that in a dialogue with the Les Violons d'Ingres, which is a work by Man Ray. It's a very iconographic work and one of the most expensive photographs ever sold. So that is what happens within the desired object, where there's a lot of cultural clash as well. The Playfully Irrational would be the last, and it is where we analyze methods of creative process that were used. A lot of the artists wanted to use methods like automatism, the paranoid critical method, or déclayage, methods that either remove agency by using chance to produce artworks, or methods that induce some sort of trance or prevent logic from inhibiting the flow of creative energy from the subconscious. We have a few more interactive artworks as well. We have very playful works by Erwin Wurm, where you can become a 1-minute sculpture. We have a cadavre exquis drawing area where one of the methods of the surrealists can be employed. It's a very fun group game where 2 or more people can create a artwork by folding a piece of paper, and then you basically paint something and the next person completes it, and thereby you create and you give the artwork away to collaboration and to chance, and experience the true and very, very iconic surrealist creation process. For surrealists, the movie was the natural medium in a way, because unlike a painting, which is still a dream, always moves. So the movie for them was the natural expression of an artwork that was committed to unveiling or unleashing the dream. And then at the same time, we wanted to have this because it's a bit the touch point to the visitors' general lives. Because for them, the biggest legacy that surrealism has probably left will be within the movies that they watch, where surrealism also has left a lot of traces and basically opened up a bit of an own genre. That's also why we wanted to introduce it in the exhibition. I think surrealist works don't need to be understood. There is no need for the audience to approach an artwork and decipher it. They're not meant to be that way. So as with all art exhibitions, I would encourage to really look and to take the time to analyze and really view an image, especially the old works with the old surrealist imagery, is so known to us that sometimes we don't really look anymore. Then have a look around and see if you can maybe see the dialogue. We've placed all of the artworks intentionally for you to play around with and maybe see which ones have they put in context with each other and why, and see how that reacts. You can see there's a lot of connection between the contemporary and the first generation artists, and that's also what's very interesting to discover within the exhibition.
北美馆除了以各项计划提供台湾艺术家表现的舞台，更致力带来国际重要的展览，呈现超现实主义超越100年的转变，让观众不用出国也能欣赏，与国际同步。